Wonders will never cease. Yeah, I must admit, I mean, the SX64s, although I still think 4 of them power on just fine, because of the disk drive situation, I can't use them anymore. I'm going to have to work something out so I can power the SD to AC off the SX64. But for my personal use, I would actually prefer to use the old bread bin for nostalgic reasons. Did have a great idea for pimping out a C64. Even have a spare Commodore PET keyed version of the VIC-20 keyboard. See what I did there? On TV shows. And because no one watches this channel who might copy my idea, I'm going to say it here. Right, we're going to have a black Commodore 64 case. Don't you worry about how that's going to look. I'm an expert in painting plastics. I actually used to do custom paint jobs for laptops for people. Still got some of them actually. And I did actually paint one of the C64's, yeah, I think it was bubblegum pink. Or was it the other one? No, I'm sure it was bubblegum pink, but yeah, she turned out to be a bit of a nutter, so I still got that though. I think I only sprayed that up for a test, to be honest, because that C64 was a bit fucked. And the but personally I would say if you're going to have a pink C64, you want your 64C and some very non-yellowed keys on the original keyboard. I'd say the bread bin, yeah, don't really go in the pink, but you know, if you like orange and brown keys on a pink case, go for it. But yeah, it'd be a black case. It'd have the Commodore VIC-20 Mark 1 PET style keyboard. The mechanism is completely unique and so is the circuit board. However, the connector is identical and it will work on a C64. They didn't change anything. The motherboard was the same when they switched keyboards. That is a lovely keyboard. When you're typing on it, it sounds like you're typing on a £10,000 mini computer terminal. That's what it sounds like. It's really... And we're going to have to find some way to make the function keys red and get the labels on them that don't look shit. So I could paint the function keys red. And we're talking, you know, Return of the Jedi red, you know, where Darth Vader comes in to inspect the new Death Star, and there's some weirdos in the red suits. Yeah, they look like oversized 90s with hoods and gas masks on, but that sort of red. And I would have called it the Vader 64. Now there was other things I was going to do to that as well. Obviously, internally wire up 2 variable resistors to the paddle on at least one of the joystick ports, if not all of them. And then possibly write my own music program. If you know the addresses and what you want to do on the SID, it probably is quite easy to write a program to test out sound effects. I'm not talking about recording musical patterns and all that. Anyway, let's get on with it. This is Blockbusters. So I did not like Blockbusters Gold Run. More like you got the runs, mate. Fucking diarrhea. Absolutely shit that is. Goodbye. Yes. I didn't test this. MSX stands for music. I do actually have a Toshiba MSX and a whole load of cartridges up there actually, but most of the cartridge games do actually need a 2-button joystick, and I don't know of one that works on the MSX that isn't one of the the shit MSX joysticks. Like the Toshiba ones are shit as the Commodore 16 plus 4 official joystick. That's how fucking useless they are. The only positive point is they have 2 independent fire buttons. I think I've got about, I'm ignoring the tape games because just about every MSX tape game is a fucking shit Spectrum port job, when all MSX games should look like ColecoVision games done right, which is what the cartridge games look like, and more. Oh shit, I don't know if it's going to work. Well, the green light has come on the SD to IEC. It doesn't necessarily mean it's loading, always. So we didn't get any kind of rendition of the Blockbusters. This is a disaster. So they bothered to put like a quite good 5 grayscale picture. Oh, thank you. Very short attempt at the tune. Now the problem is Maxen, who did most of these TV games, are like the LJN of the C64 world. They are incompetent, lazy, fucking useless, greedy cocksuckers. Number of players 1, thank you. Name for player 1, Mr. Osiris, thank you. 1, thank you. Selecting questions, good on you mate, good on you. So you could actually have a little animated Bob Holness if someone with talent was doing it. What the fuck? How slow is that? It's like it's generating the questions. Is there a time? Oh, there is a time. What A is a sport where a gold is the bullseye? Archery. Wow, he nods his head. That's yeah, now what do you want me to do? Yeah, now what? Oh! Right, now I have to... Oh, you fucking idiot. So I'm obviously V, because I'm the red. It is first thing in the morning, give me a break, I'm not drunk. And the next person who puts out in the comments is getting blocked as well. I ain't got time for arseholes, mate. You want to talk to me like that, you better be a fucking subscriber. What V was a man who governed a country in the name of its ruler, especially in the... What V? Well, I can only think of Victoria as in Queen Victoria. Oh, it's a generic term, right. I don't know that anyway. I don't know the answer, mate. Why doesn't the computer come in and try and answer? See, that's if you're going to do something like this, you should really have, the computer, after a random amount of time, obviously multiplied by the level. So level 1 would be the hardest, level 10 would be the NORAD. I only know NORAD. Oh, fucking, these are These are easy questions. I wouldn't have known these. What happened? Oh, right, murder, innit? Murder. Correct answer. So let's go with Q. How many words can there be that start with? Oh, actually, it could be. Ooh. Ah, shit, I don't know how to spell quark. See, that's how you do it. See, he knows what I'm trying. Because if you're on the TV show, you don't fucking write the answers on a bit of paper and hold it up and show it to them. Can't even remember what TV show that was, actually. There was this thing where they would write the answer and then they'd flip their cards over and, you know, so there's no cheating. But you say the word. So if I say quark, exactly. So the gold run thing is bollocks, mate. Do not bother with that shit. So we go with O. Can I have an O, please, Bob? Okay. So we had a few iffy questions. I could see myself in the early 80s playing something like this. By the mid 80s, I was like, when the fuck is Nemesis coming out? And it better be fucking good on the C60. How naive I was. Ill. You're ill. That's what my mate used to say to me. And I think my neighbour's kid said it once. I think he's ill. I distinctly heard them say that. Probably because I was screaming down the phone at my, well, she wasn't my ex-girlfriend at the time. We'll go for a B, please, Bob. Ah, bonsai! I was thinking of watching Karate Kid, actually. Why don't the volume buttons work anymore? Right, it's a well-known thing, you have to tap the batteries. So, yeah, there's not really any point reviewing a game like this. Just, you know, looking at the thumbnail for this, you know it's not going to be technically stunning, but it plays alright. And I'm sure Max End games were definitely not £9. They were probably £8 or something in the shops. So this and I'm trying to think, and Panther by Mastertronic. That would help the situation, I guess. But no, if you like blockbusters, I think, especially if you weren't tech savvy like me, I mean, within about, I'd say a week, maybe 2 weeks of getting a C64, I was like, I knew something, and I later learned that it would be called binary maths. So when we did that at school, it was like, wow, you're really good at this. Yeah, I had a Commodore 64, sir. Anyway, it's enough of that bollocks.